Welcome back to the continuation part of Black Sea Grain Initiative. We'll continue our discussion where we left in our last module. Sir, I would like to now further ask you that how India should take a stand, because we are also part of BRICS nation, and South Africa has its own stand, China has its own peace tie-ups, Russia again. So how India should take a stand regarding this?
Okay. You happen to mention it as Black Sea Green Initiative. These days,
Grain.
these days everybody says green.
Grain initiative.
So this one is grain. See, let's look at the background. I am not going to go to the complete history of Ukraine and Russia and USSR and NATO and so on and so forth. But the issues start from Russia not wanting Ukraine to become a NATO member. Because NATO member means since they are neighbors, all the equipment and everything, armed equipment, etc. of NATO can be stationed in Ukraine, right? And so if somebody, my neighbor is having all the things to attack me, it's not a good idea. So there was a Minsk agreement which both sides had agreed before 2014 disturbance. But the rest of them did not abide by it, and Zelensky came into power by removing the earlier president who was there, and then started doing military preparation and all. Now that is what encouraged Russia to acquire Crimea again. Crimea in 1954, President Khrushchev, or General Secretary of the Communist Party of Soviet Union, Khrushchev, had gifted to Ukraine. It was part of the Russian Federation. Now, there is a separate tape we have for looking at the complete history, why the Crimean War has come about, what is Crimea. For most of its history, known history, it was part of what? Part of Russia, actually. And what was Ukraine? The background of Tatars who came, the Mongols who came, so on. So it's not a typical European country, also, Ukraine. It has had all those external invasions from the Muslim world, Turkey included. Now, so since Minsk declaration was not agreed to, and there is a substantial Russian ethnic population in Crimea and eastern Ukraine and southwest Ukraine.
Okay.
Those two parts now which are within the control of Russia. There were many complaints which were made by Russian Federation to the UN, to the other bodies, to NATO, that the Russian ethnic background people are being discriminated against. The language they are not allowed to use. After Zelensky came to power, he stopped usage of Russian in school and administration and everything. And there were few major, almost genocidal problems, and they were eliminated also. So this Russian group, Russian ethnic groups obviously approached Russia as a mother nation, saying that something should be done. Either they should take them,
or we should be safeguarded.
Or we should be safeguarded. So he gave sufficient notices. When it didn't happen, so Crimea invaded and just took over. Now, Crimea has a border with the Black Sea, and then Ukraine, and then Romania. So a lot of the NATO forces are now today stationed in Romania and Poland. So when this happened, they went to the UN, NATO and all that, US and allies, and got a resolution passed against Russia. And US started this thing about sanctions of Russia, cut them out of the SWIFT, cut them out of everything. And the ships will not get insurance and so on and so forth. Now that's again a separate topic and a separate video as to how Russia has coped with these sanctions. Till the sanctions on Russia came in front of us, became public, we did not know that 40 countries have been sanctioned by US.
Okay.
Cuba, since 54 years, more, 64 years. Iran, Iraq, Libya, etc. And all these other countries, which they invaded actually, have been sanctioned by them. So Iran can't sell oil straight away. Iraq cannot sell oil straight away. Therefore, the American oil makes a lot of money. And when they do, they create problems. So US also they created a problem. Russia also they created a problem, but Russia has coped. And so today we will not go into detail how they have coped. Because their GDP has not been affected. Their per capita income has not been affected. They have been able to find other markets, for example, China and India, which the Europeans then did not take, or rather the Ukrainians bombarded the North Stream pipelines. They were all put up by Russia. It's their money, $15 billion worth, all the way coming from Siberia to these places, in Germany and also Ukraine. So when the UN resolution got passed, the sanctions came. So the issue of whether India or China or somebody else supports or not supports comes from there. Because Russia obviously opposed it and Belarus opposed it. And the 30-40 who are members of NATO, they supported it. And the rest of them all abstained, including India and China. So we have not criticized UN. We have not criticized. Our Prime Minister just used this terminology, this is not an age of war. This is not an era of war.
Era of war, right.
China took peace initiative. Africa, through South Africa, he brought 6 together heads of state. They have taken initiative. None of the NATO countries who otherwise drum up, they're liberals and Democrats, and they have not taken initiative for peace. They have taken initiative for sanctions.
Right.
They have taken initiative that we will kill economically. This thing. Okay. So therefore the distance has come. Now, when this grain initiative thing has come, again, question of yesterday, last night actually, in the UN Security Council, they have discussed this again. I have not seen the voting yet, but we will be putting a link as to what the discussion has taken place, in which India is saying that we will abide by what UN says.
Okay.
Okay, we will abide by what UN says. So they are saving their neck. On the other hand, our neighbor Pakistan has invited the foreign minister of Ukraine. Last 3 days, foreign minister of Ukraine is there. And yesterday there was one Russian journalist in the press conference they had. And they asked them to leave. Otherwise they complain, right? Now if Russian journalist has been asked to leave, what are they supposed to put in their own papers that, why the Ukraine foreign minister is sitting in Pakistan? Except we know that Pakistan had supplied arms. But when they had supplied arms and equipment, you become on that side. You're no more on the other side. But for buying discounted oil, you run again and again to Russia. No. So therefore, different countries have different policies towards this. If somebody thinks that we have supported them because we were going to get cheap oil, no, that's not true. The reason is that maybe this current generation does not know how much help in our industrialization was given when Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister and later. And military equipment, Bharat Heavy Electricals, National Thermal Power Corporation, atomic energy plants, keep on thinking about it. Bharat Movers. It is set up by them and they do not take any share in those countries, unlike Americans. So the common public tends to support America and Europe for various reasons, including that their friends and relatives are there, and you generally think that they are the goody boys. But they do not know that actually under any circumstances, like our war in Pakistan, 4 of them, or disturbances with China, it is the at that time Soviet Union, later Russian Federation, have been at our beck and call actually. What do you need? We'll give it to you. So Therefore, when 100 plus countries have abstained, okay, now 150 plus, right? Which means they're not with that resolution. They're not opposed, but abstain means I'm not with you. They will not write opposed because again they're afraid of the US and others. But the support they've got is only not from the bloc, just by bloc. Yes. So same thing yesterday had happened. That they are saying that Russia has done something wrong. They have affected the food security of the world by what? By what?
By not renewing it.
By not renewing it. So renewing to आप condition पूरी करो ना. Renewing to फिर एक side पे नहीं होती ना.
Right.
So but then creating that impression. Now in that impression we come to India therefore. Rice exports we have already said no for the time being.
Right.
Wheat exports are also no for the time being, and 56 million tons is there. Somebody should calculate what is our annual requirement anyway. More than, I mean, it's less than 56 million tons. And by the time next crop comes, obviously it will come. So we can export some. And of course, Russia has got GST. Now, because the Kerch Bridge, which is a lifeline connecting from Crimea to Russia, was bombed. It was bombed in October also. Very bad bombing was there, and for 4 months it was in operation. And all the food grains, medicine,
supplies
on that bridge.
Affected, right?
So, when one reads the newspaper saying, Russia is bombing civilian infrastructure, so what if they are bombed? Now, two wrongs don't make a right. If you say civilian infrastructure should not be bombed, right? And you can't, in the broad daylight, go and bomb it and kill civilians. Okay? You say it's all right for us. And everybody, all the media says it's all right for Ukraine to do it. But, point is this, that if Ukraine is signatory to UN conventions also, no? Conventions also, but you don't bomb civilians. And secondly, if you claim Crimea is yours, they are your citizens.
Then supply them.
And you want them to die.
Right.
You want them to, no, don't supply it, don't stop their supplies.
Don't stop their supplies.
And you want to bomb them.
Right.
That is why Russia is taking this stand. That either they get the ships checked or we will destroy them. We will not allow. Because two things happened on the same day. Cluster bombs. Cluster bombs when 123 countries have said that we will not use it because this is not right.
Right.
Cluster bombs use करना शुरू कर देते हो. And what? On your own population, huh?
On your own population.
Your own population, basically.
You're claiming them to be your population.
Not only Crimea, even Ukraine.
Yes.
Ukraine, you are counter-offensive करके, you want to take it back. Maybe you think there will be some Russian soldiers also. But actually, civilians will also be there. So that means Russia is correct. That these civilians who are Russian ethnic civilians, okay, in Crimea and in eastern Ukraine, you don't consider them to be your citizens. So for the time being, we will stop there. Right. And if we want to follow a little bit, we will follow in terms of what is now likely to happen to India. Basically, what we have said is that the African world, the developing world, is with Russia actually.
Okay.
And West is with West themselves, because they are the beneficiaries. The biggest beneficiaries of those pipelines not working has been USA, because LPG, CNG, and crude oil came from there. The price went down.
Right.
They are the biggest beneficiaries of that. So while analyzing the situation, one should not hide that. I like Americans more than anybody else. Actually, we hardly know Russians. What is there to like or not like? Our interaction in India is very little.
Right. So we end with this discussion here only, and we'll continue it further, looking it from developing countries angle, and soon meet again with part 3 of the module. Thank you. Have a good day.